Oh, that looks good. Looks like the fish would be right there. Oh gosh, that's so good. There's one. Yay! That's a nice one. That's a bigger fish. Come here, fella. Ah, that's a bigger fish, man. Wow. All right. Wish I had my net. This is a bigger fish. I don't know. Holy cow. Oh. Wow. See if I can get him over here. Yeah, it looks like a 18 to 20 inch fish right here. Oh yeah. See if I can. He's fired up. He's in the shallows. See if I can. Yeah, gosh, look at him. I'm going to try to grab him by the tail. See if I can. Yeah, he's got it. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh, he busted me off. That's what you get. That's what you get when you don't have a net. He's a beast. Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Guy Jeans. Today I'm doing a fishing report on the Upper Kern River. Stay tuned.
And even if my pocket's empty, I don't really want to go to work. No, no, no.
What's really cool about the Kern River Valley is you have all these options you can do right now. This is April in 2026, and you can fish the Upper Kern River right now. It's actually down to about 900, and then up above the powerhouse, it's even lower, so it's like around the 400 level. So you got 15 miles of 400, and then down below into town, it's about 900 to 1,000. It's just kind of fluctuating in that zone. But you also can fish the lake for bass and crappie, which is amazing. You guys got to give that a try. Or you can go up into the creeks, and we have hundreds of miles of creeks to explore where you can catch golden trout, brand trout, golden rainbow hybrids, that sort of thing. So you have all these options that you can do in the Kern River Valley, which is really cool. Okay, so I'm going to start off doing some streamers. I love fishing streamers. It's just another technique that you can use here on the Kern. I'm going to be using 2 streamers, 2 buggers. I've got a sinking leader, and then I've attached about 3 feet of 2X tippet, and then I have a tag coming off, which is kind of nice, gives that fly a freer drift, and also when I'm stripping it in, it's separated from that other hook shank, tying off the hook shank. I don't really like tying off the hook shank, but that's something you guys can do. The rod I'm using is a Sage Arrow. It's a 10-foot 6-weight. I love this rod, and I've just been enjoying this rod. It picks a line up off the water. It's 10 feet, and it casts amazing. So that's what I'm going to be using. So when I'm swinging flies, I'm going to cast into the current here, let my flies swing around, and then strip them back upstream, kind of in the eddy line, and see if a fish will pick it up. So let me get out here and do that. That's fun. There's one. Nice. That was on the swing. He was down a little ways. God, I love this Sage Arrow. That's a nice fish, man. Look at that thing. Sweet. Oh, he grabbed the last one. Come here, buddy. I don't have my net, so that's a solid fish, man. Look at that guy. Hold on. Ah. Hold on. Solid 15, 16 inches for sure. He's fired up. I'm going to show you. Oh, yeah, look at that. It's a nice fish, man. Woo! That's what we're looking for on the swing, for sure. Let's get another one. Okay, techniques. So techniques you can use a streamer like I was doing, put 2 streamers on with a little tag. For one of the streamers, the top streamer, have a little tag, then have your other one come down. Use a sinking leader, that works really well. Use a dry fly with a dropper or 2 droppers. That's been working really well. You could straight nymph, Euro nymph. You could use an indicator and put some split shut on, get your flies down, or use heavily weighted flies. So those are some of the techniques that you can use. They are all working. You can catch fish on all the different techniques. Okay, so I caught that one on a streamer. Now I'm going to switch over to a nymph rig. I'm not going to use an indicator. I'm just going to do it kind of Euro style and fish this run behind me. I'm going to fish the eddy line. Like I said, the water's down where I'm at below the powerhouse. It's roughly about 900 to 1,000, so it's going pretty good. You got to be careful when you're wading. So just make sure you check that out. But let's go out here and give this nymph rig a try. Hey, you guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The channel's growing. We're almost to 9,000 subscribers, which is awesome. It helps the channel grow, so make sure to subscribe. I know a lot of you guys are watching and you're not subscribed yet, so it's real simple. It's free. Just hit that subscribe button, that notifications bell, and it'll let you know when I'm doing other videos. Thanks a lot. What's been going on out there?
Well, Freestone River, so naturally the stone flies, but maybe even change it up. We talk about a lot of the yellow sallies. Now change it up, maybe use some goldens, maybe some browns. Again, consistently, the hair zero on a jig with soft hackle works well, but maybe even change up the size. Maybe fish with 2 flies, fish with something smaller maybe, and then have another point fly that's a little bigger. Other good working flies are like even the psychomays. So psychomays are great here. Even the Eurocaddis is starting to do well as well. So this is the Eurocaddis in the larger size. We also have it in the size 12. So those have been great flies. So don't be afraid to mix it up. Even throw in maybe even a Kern candy. So just throw the book at them and have a good time.
So some of the streamers I was using out there and getting hooked up on was This guy right here, this thing's called a Krelex. This is kind of cool fly, very shiny. I was also using olive buggers, these guys here, which work really well. And then also this guy right here with it's called a jawbreaker. It has a little tail on it. But this fly was working really good for fishing streamers. And again, I was using a sinking leader and fishing 2 flies at once. So that works really good. And then, Daniel, what about hatches that are going on? Have you seen anything out there?
I've been seeing some hatches, just some smaller stonefly exoskeletons about size 10 and 12. Also, I've been seeing some caddis coming off. So, be ready for that kind of action, especially as these days warm up. The water is a little stained, but just use it to your advantage. And now the water below the Fairview Dam is under 300 CFS or so very manageable and a good place to fish. Some places you can even get halfway into the river and fish that river right side, which has not been.
Daniel, what's that thing on your hat you got on there?
Well, that's a good question. A lot of people ask when they come in. What it is, it's a cling product, and it's a great place to store your flies. What I like to do is there's a little metal plate. I like to put it right here in the sweatband. So now that way I can put some flies right onto this part and put it back on without having to hook it right into my ball cap or my shirt.
Okay, cool. Let's see these guys here. Hey, I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you guys here next time on the Kern River Fly Shop Fishing Report.
And even if my pocket's empty, I don't really want to go to